Hey, entre fam. It is Young. This is video 88 of 90. Yeah, so two more after this one. So I'm going to focus on today, get right into it. This one might not be as long as the others because I'm just going to talk about the experiences I had in the couple of exercises that we did on day two. Although I will say that they did tell us to not disclose some information, only because it would take away from the experience from anybody else who's going to go and go to the events. And honestly, even if I did kind of divulge anything, it would have not a very big impact on anybody, and it would be ruined for you. And yeah, because I feel like if somebody did tell me before I went to the event, I would probably be pretty disappointed because I'd be there and be like, oh, I got almost nothing out of this, because I knew what was going to happen. So anyways, the first exercise they took us through was it was like a visualization exercise. Basically, before we did the exercise, Todd did some meditation with us, and then we took a break, and then we came back to do the visualization exercise. And basically, they turned the lights low. Everybody turned off closed their eyes, and then Todd would speak and talk us through a visualization. And it was just really powerful visualization. A lot of emotions being dug up and things like that. People crying, things like that, because of a lot of emotions and past traumas and things like that being brought up. And I'm not a very big crier, but and for the most of the exercise, I wasn't really crying or getting emotional or anything. And but it wasn't until a certain point in the exercise where it made me realize how the ways that my limiting beliefs and all the things that I get myself stuck in succeeding, it really opened my eyes to see how my actions were affecting those I loved in my life. And my personality type is kind of like, during the event we did this other exercise, and I was kind of grouped into the category of like supporters and things like that, and who really always look out for others rather than ourselves. And not that other personality types can't do that, it's just that that's like our main thing or whatever. But like we went through when we were going through the exercise, and it was like it was kind of like getting us to go through things of where people have failed us. I wasn't very emotional. Like, I did see it, and it was like, and I was like, it was eye-opening and things like that, how some of those things might have affected my life. But it wasn't until, again, how my actions were failing those around me, that's when I started that's when the waterworks were starting. But yeah, and also just even to myself, like how I'm limiting myself and my potential to be able to create a life for my family and things like that. And it's not about like and the thing wasn't even about like creating a good life for my family that was getting me teary-eyed. It's just how my negative actions, emotions, and things like that were affecting those in my life almost in the same way. And just how I was just like, the things I was doing to myself, I was doing to them. So yeah, it was a really powerful exercise. I really got a lot out of that, and it really made my why stronger. Or I don't know if it's stronger is the best word for it, but maybe more have a better footing, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but yeah, that exercise was really powerful. The second one is the one they really wanted us to be hush hush about, so I'm not going to divulge any information of how that exercise works at all. But I'm just going to kind of explain how it affected me, what I learned from it. So we went through the exercise, and there was a lot of emotions running high, things like that, and yeah, it's just for me, what I learned, I was able to see more of how I am limiting myself, how quickly I can revert back to, even though I'm learning these things like right at the event, right? I just learned these things; it was fresh in my mind. Even though all that stuff happened, I was a I'm it was pretty interesting, I guess. I don't know, for lack of better terms, to see how quickly you can go back into your base programmings and things like that. And for me, those base programmings and things were I found more introspection into them. And basically, for me, I saw that I tend to focus on the wrong things, and I like to overthink things. So I talked about those groups you kind of get separated into, the personality types, and I was the supporter group. But Todd did mention that of course there's going to be some bleed over into other groups and stuff like that. You're not just like a robot who just has one function, right? But I bled into a little more of the analytical group, but I was mainly the support group. So I do have a bit of that analytical mindset where I tend to overthink things, and I try to see things this way, that way. Is this really what we're supposed to do? Is this really what I'm supposed to do? Things like that. And by the time I finally get the answer, or like, oh, I know what I need to do, the opportunity has passed. So I tend to wait too long and act too slowly to be successful. So I thought that was very awesome that I was able to find that out through the exercise. And yeah, I mean, I also tend to focus kind of on the wrong thing in sense of like, the task may be this, but I'm focusing on like this other little nuance over here that might have nothing to do with the main task. To me, it seems like it has something to do with the main task or whatever, but it doesn't. And that's another thing I realized as well, personally. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of other people in both exercises found tremendous value in them, and in discovering themselves, how they're limiting themselves and things like that. So yeah, that's basically all I can say. I mean, there is, like I said, if I just say the exercise, it's just going to be a disservice to you guys, and those who are gonna go through the event and everything. So, but yeah, that's all I have to say today. If anybody else has any other questions or anything, you can anybody can always message me on Facebook. Comment on any of my posts, things like that. I try to be as open and available as possible. Try to help as many people as possible. So yeah, I mean, I don't know everything. I'm not a pro, but I try to do what I can. So yeah, until tomorrow, stay awesome, mantra.